everybody. So today we are going to look at one microphone, one piano. Now if you follow me on Instagram, I did post a picture of how I had it set up, and if you've ever seen a grand piano, it has it kind of divots in. I generally put the microphone at the divot. Now the reason why I did only one microphone in this case was I was exhausted, and so I just decided that's all I'm doing. I'll deal with it in post. I'll put on some ambience and all that other stuff. So but it was my first time using my Behringer for the piano, and I actually liked the sound, I have to say. So now this was from this, which you can't really read that well, but it says "For the love of Mexican music," and I thought it was going to be mariachi music, but no, it was actually classical. The song we're going to use on here is called the Mexican Ballad. It is by, it just says M. Ponce. Let me see if I can see if he has his real name in here. Manuel M. Ponce. So he was alive in 1882 till 1948. And the piano player in this is Luis. I know his last name, but I keep forgetting his. Luis Molina. He's from Mexico. Amazing pianist. He is getting his master's right now in London, Ontario, at university, which I've lost my mind on. I can't remember the name of the university there. I think it's Laurier. I'm not sure. I'm probably wrong. I will see if I can find it. And so he's getting his master's right there, and I think he has applied for Canadian citizenship as well. So he wants to stay. So let's listen to it. This is what it sounds like so far. It sounds nice. So the first thing I do is I go into the mixer. Let me show you here. There we go. Alright, so my screen is, I cannot get this thing clean anymore. I blame the cat for that. So I go into the mixer. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to actually use the internal compressor. So I go to insert internal effects. So insert effects, I turn it on for track 1. It's one track, I can do that. Go to effect. I'm already on the compressor here. I'm going to turn it on. Now, when you default this, it's on record. I'm going to switch it to play. I've already set up the compressor where I want it. Not a lot of compression. Keep the attack halfway. And then just give it a little bit of a level. So it'll be a little louder now if I play it. Alright, that's nice. So, let's go back to the mixer. Now what I want to do is, I find that when I record, I get a very bassy, everything sounds very bassy to me, like where the mic is. So what I generally do is, see, I was on, so I'm going to turn on the EQ, play it, and just drop most of it out. So now I brought out the guitar, I brought out the piano. I brought it out, just given it some life. Next, what I'm going to do is I want to use effects 2, which on my external effects is ambience. It is currently set for cathedral, and I want it to be post because I want to use all the changes that I've just made to the sound so that it matches externally. Now, if you do pre, that means you're doing it before this. The nice thing about pre is if you do it with pre, then you can turn the fader down and you can just let it go through. So another thing I did, so as you can see, I have it on post. That is so it'll go out, or it'll go out to the external microphone. I had to bring it back in. I wanted to bring it back in through the stereo bus, which you can see here. So G and H are lit up. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want it just to become part of the board. I don't want it to be on a track. So it's just a sign of the stereo bus. So now it's just coming through, and it's not getting recorded anywhere unless I do a mastering. Now that's what I'm doing right now. So that's where it's going to go. It's going to go in the mix down, the mastering. It's going to do all that stuff. So that's my next step. I don't know why I'm doing numbers. So now we go back to the mixer and we play. We start bringing in the effects. So now we have a nice ambient echo going on, which brings out the piano more. One thing I learned last weekend I was at a wedding, and on the way home, my hair's a mess. On the way home, we were listening to some classical on the radio because I got bored of everything else that was on the radio. And I was listening and I was like, oh, they use a lot of echo. And I generally don't use a lot of echo, but classical they do. So I've added more than what I normally would for echo on this. And yeah, that's where it is now. So, and it sounds pretty decent. So that is mixing down in a nutshell on one track. That was a nice thing. It was one track, so easy to do. As you can see, I'll go to home and I'll do timeline. There's only one track. Nothing else was recorded. So that is my video for today. Like and subscribe if you want. It is getting close to Christmas. I'm gonna do another one next week. I'm gonna try. It's getting difficult with getting close to Christmas because everybody wants me everywhere. And I will talk to you later. Bye.